Welcome to the Electric Current Rundown Podcast, episode number 5. And I'm your host, Phil Defiance, and I'll always say I'm here to encourage the spread of intriguing knowledge that can spark fires in the minds of those seeking inspiration and truly improving the world. And what I'm going to talk about today includes when a magician's curse swung boxing's biggest bout. It's an intriguing story. And I'm also going to talk about weekend warrior workouts may be as effective as daily exercise. So let me get right into it with this intriguing story about when a magician's curse swung boxing's biggest bout. And it was in the mid-30s right here. And it was really a fight with Tiger Jack Fox, who was like the Mike Tyson of his time. That's where the story begins. And I mean, he really was like the best fighter of those days. And when I say Mike Tyson, I mean Mike Tyson in the 90s and 80s even. Not Mike Tyson today. I mean, I have to say I have huge respect for Mike Tyson, 100%. But I mean, that fight he had recently, that was, it wasn't really that serious of a fight. It was kind of a joke type thing. But hey, Mike Tyson, if you hear me talking, if you hear that I said this, I gotta tell you 100% I got enough respect. But either way, I mean, I'm talking about Tiger Jack Fox here in the 1930s. And there was this crazy fight that started this whole story. And I mean, it was between Tiger Jack Fox and Melio Bettina. And yeah, I mean, Melio Bettina was a fighter. He was good. But I mean, it wasn't really him that was the star. I mean, it was really his manager, Jimmy Grippo. Jimmy Grippo was a trained magician from Sicily. And I mean, he was taught from a young age. I mean, when he was a toddler, like at age 3, by like the best magician in Italy. Like, I mean, the guy was like 100 years old. And I don't know how that came about, but he ended up training this young child who turned out to be Jimmy Grippo. And all the way till he became an adult, he was trained like to be a advanced magician, and he really was skilled at his trade. And I mean, Tiger Jack Fox heard about that, and because of that, he actually was worried. I mean, can you imagine a fighter as good as Tiger Jack Fox? Like I said, I mean, look him up. He really was like the Mike Tyson of those days. I mean, Mike Tyson in his prime. Yes. So, I mean, a man that really was such a great fighter to be scared to fight. Obviously, there's got to be something about that story. I mean, but why? Well, because of this magician manager of this fighter, Melio Bettina, the magician, Jimmy Grippo. But okay, so I'm going to get right into that, in a moment, right after this quick break. So, I'm just going to say, just give me a moment. Everybody likes really good designs, as well as knowing their online order will come quickly. Go to plainbowl.com to get the designs you desire. Your order will come quick like you expect, and while you want quick delivery, you'll have patience for your order, because when it does come, you're going to have the kind of design you'll love. It will make you stand out, and people will notice, and you'll love that. Go to plainbowl.com. That's plain, like airplane, plainbowl.com. And okay, so I mean, back to that story. I mean, it's crazy. Like a magician managing Melio Bettina, the magician Jimmy Grippo. I mean, Tiger Jack Fox, the fighter, was like really like worried about that situation. I mean, when he got into the ring, he made sure not to look into Jimmy Grippo's eyes at all. Like, he really tried his best. But Jimmy Grippo, being the magician that he is, he figured out a way to get Tiger Jack Fox's attention by saying something that really caught his mind. So, I mean, when he said that, oh my gosh, Tiger Jack Fox finally looked into his eyes, and that really messed up his psyche. And because of that, like, it's crazy because the fight ended up lasting a bunch of rounds, and by the end of it, Melio Bettina ended up winning the fight, and it's like crazy, and it's all because of Jimmy Grippo, his magician manager. And like, I mean, can you imagine that? I mean, like, people don't really think that magic is real. I mean, they think it's like hocus pocus, like, yeah, like a joke. But apparently, when it comes to this fight anyway, this magic actually worked. And yeah, I mean, Melio Bettina ended up defeating Tiger Jack Fox. I mean, it was crazy because, I mean, Tiger Jack Fox simply wasn't able to be defeated easily. I think he was undefeated before that fight, and that was his first loss. And I mean, it was crazy. So I mean, after that though, for many more years, like, Jimmy Grippo continued to manage Melio Bettina, and Melio Bettina did have a few other victories while Tiger Jack Fox continued to fight for quite some time longer. And so, I mean, yeah, Tiger Jack Fox was still a pretty good fighter even after that, and Melio Bettina had the assistance of Jimmy Grippo through his career. Yes, the magic behind all of that. So, I mean, that's fascinating too, right? And, I mean, after all of that time, after the boxing, I mean, Jimmy Grippo ended up in Vegas, and he ended up doing some magic in Vegas as a performer there in his older years, until he ended up dying one day. So, I mean, even that is pretty fascinating. But okay, right before I get on to the last break, as I get close to the end of this 10-minute bonus episode, well, I'm going to reference what I'm going to talk about next, which is weekend warrior workouts may be as effective as daily exercise. And so I'm going to get right into that right after this quick break right here. And so what I'm going to say right now is we all have tastes for things, like a tasty meal or a taste for great content. We're inclined to seek such content. We have satisfaction finding it. If you want such content, skip the effort to look for currently electrifying videos and you'll be happy. Find it at YouTube or Instagram. But okay, so I'm going to talk about this real quick. I mean, everybody thinks that working out is something that you should be doing, like, throughout the week, like, more than one day. Like, I mean, like, 2-3 days a week at the least. Like, I mean, that's, like, what everybody believes. I mean, people that go to the gym, or even people that jog, but especially people that go to the gym or got a gym in their house. So, I mean, there's new information out that is showing that, like, doing a 1 day, maybe even a 2 day, but definitely just even a 1 day, which is the most surprising thing, a 1 day quick workout, well, not really quick, I mean, like a intense workout, a 1 day workout on the weekend can be just as effective as, like, 3 days, 4 days, even 2 days, 2 to 4 days working out during the week, which is what everybody thought was the case. I mean, having a consistent routine throughout the week. But now, I mean, new information shows that working out on the weekend can actually be just as effective. It's like crazy. I mean, because it's new information. Like, everyone that goes to the gym just thought that having that routine was what you had to do. But okay, so I'm going to talk more about that. I have a little bit more to say about that on my next episode. Yes, I'm going to post one more quick episode later on in this week before my next scheduled episode, one more bonus episode. And so this show comes to an end right here. Yes, I mean, the Electric Current Rundown podcast, episode 5, right here with your host, Phil Defiance. And yes, I just want to say I'm here to encourage the spread of intriguing knowledge that can spark fires in the minds of those seeking inspiration and truly improving the world. So stay tuned for that next bonus episode and future episodes. Well, have a good one.